Welcome back or to the channel. In this video, we're going to be powder coating some TIS off-road wheels, chartreuse sherbet, and gloss black. This is for something special for them. This video is also brought to you by Next Insurance, but more about that later. Let's get into the video. As many of you may or may not know from our other social media, we've been working with TIS and they sent us out 5 different wheels for us to showcase our skills on, and they're gonna display them at events like SEMA and such like that. So we did some votes on social media, and this wheel is going to be going chartreuse sherbet and gloss black. We are going to be using Super Mirror Gloss Black from Columbia Coatings and Chartreuse Sherbet from Prismatic Powders. Links for those down in the description. Also, if you want to check out some other TIS wheels, we're going to have a link for them down in the description as well. Anyways, let's talk more about this wheel. This wheel started off gloss black. We put it into our rim strip, which is the chemical stripper that we use to strip powder coat from wheels. And now it's been pressure washed. We're gonna go ahead and blast it in our blast room. Our air is coming from a 70 CFM gas-powered air compressor that we picked up on Facebook Marketplace for $600. Now, we are not using the full capacity of the air compressor because we still are using a Harbor Freight blast pod, and we have to reduce the hose down, otherwise we gotta change all of the guts of the blast pot. So we're currently looking for a blast pot that will be able to handle the 70 CFM so we can get the full capacity of the air compressor, allowing us to blast parts much faster. We do all our blasting here in our little blast shed, and we use green diamond nickel slag 3070, and when we're not using green diamond nickel slag, we do use coal slag from Tractor Supply, but we definitely don't like to use that all the time. So before we blast the wheel, we like to make sure that we have it outgassed. Our process goes strip, pressure wash, outgas, blast, then coat. So this wheel has been outgassed. We outgassed it at 420 degrees for 45 minutes. We are going to let it cool. Once it cools, we're gonna go ahead and blast it. Once it's blasted, all we do is blow it off and go ahead and get to coating. So now we got the wheel all blasted. We did blow it off. It is going to need to be blowed off again, but we are going to need to blow it off again. We will need to plug all of the holes that have threads. We're gonna lay the chartreuse sherbet down first in this 2-stage process because the front of it's gonna be going that color, and it's just going to be easier to do the wipe. We'll then partially cure it, and then we'll lay down the silk satin black. So let's go ahead and blow this off and go ahead and get the holes plugged so we can go ahead and start laying powder. Welcome back. It is the next day, and we're gonna go ahead and start laying powder down on this wheel. But first, many people have asked us, how do we hang our wheels? What's the best way, or at least the best way for us? How do we like to hang our wheels? So we're gonna show you here real quick exactly how we hang our wheels. That way you can get some ideas and then find something that works for your situation. In some of our old videos, you would see us using some hooks like this. Now these were just straight hooks, kind of like that were from Home Depot, and we put a bend in them. So they would slide in through the hole, and then we would have this hook out that we could go ahead and hang parts on. It just became too big of a hassle. And then we started using these pieces right here. Well, we were doing a test wheel, and after heating and cooling so many times, this part right here just broke apart. So we do not use these anymore, and if you do use these, I would suggest that you change, because you could have a big issue and you could damage some wheels. Luckily, we were just doing one of our test wheels around here when that happened. Okay, so what we use is we use these little stubbies and we put them in through the valve stem. You can get them at Home Depot. They're like $1 or $2, I think at Lowe's as well. You need 2 bolts though. So you put a bolt on, that way it'll stop it from sliding in too far, and then you tighten it on with another bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you this, and we use these hooks with these hooks. Better to have these than to have these. I'm gonna show you how we put it together. So first you find your valve stem hole. It's right here on this one. And you wanna make sure that the bolt doesn't slide through. So we slide this up in here and it won't slide through, so the hole isn't too big. Usually you have to screw this bolt down as far as you can, or at least to leave enough of the stem sticking through that you can tighten another bolt on it. Now this one doesn't have to go tightened all the way down. Basically, you want this to just come past through the bolt, so you know that it's fully holding it. The thing is if you leave too much thread showing, the powder could cover it, and then it can make it very hard to get off, and then you're trying to get it off a wheel that's actually powder coated, so you got a chance of damaging the wheel. Now in this case, this bolt slides all the way down into this valve stem hole, which I do like. It does help you to kind of get a little bit of a grip. I'm gonna slide you back some, and if you look, we want the hook facing down like this. You do want to make sure that this can slide in there, that there is enough gap. If there's not, you want to slide this on first before you tighten it down. So we've got the top tightened. Now we just want to use our fingers to go ahead and tighten the bolt on the bottom. There is a little bit of powder buildup on this. If you need to, use a wrench, vice grips, crescent wrench, it doesn't matter. Just whatever it is you got to do to go ahead and tighten it up. And you want to make sure you screw this all the way down, because you don't want it moving around. You want it very stable. Okay, getting real close. And you don't need to over tighten it, but you do want to make sure that this is parallel straight with the wheel. You don't really want it to the side or anything like that. You want it like this, so when it hooks, it's just holding it. But again, you do want to make sure that it's snug. So there it is, it's pretty snug, and I'm just going to give it just a little bit more. There you go. Now it's not going to move, and you can slide this hook on it. There you go. Now you can hook this up. Now your wheel has a hook on it, so you can grab it and pick it up and hook it wherever you need to. And with this style, it tends to hold the wheel a bit more straight. The way we had it before, the wheel would sit kind of like this, and if you're wiping on them or anything at that angle, it is very tough. So this way, it holds the wheel nice and straight, and you've got a great place to go ahead and powder coat. If you want, you can put one of those extra bolts on the tops and the bottoms right here and tighten it so this piece doesn't spin in the middle, but we tend to hold it here and here so it doesn't spin. And we only have these unscrewed about halfway. That way we do not have to worry about it spinning and then unscrewing and falling off. Now that we've got this hung, let's go ahead, get it blowed off. Now that we've got it hung, let's blow this piece off and start laying down some powder. Let's get to it. It's time to lay down some powder. First we're gonna lay down the chartreuse sherbet. We have all of the holes plugged. Let's go ahead and get it. So now that we have the chartreuse sherbet laid down, we're gonna go ahead and pull all of the plugs, and we're gonna go ahead and do it for a partial cure. Because we don't want any bleed through on our other color, which is going to be satin black, we don't want any bleed through, so we're gonna do about a 60 to 70% cure with this. A lot of people have had troubles with colors bleeding through on multiple colors. And usually it's because you need to cure your first color a little bit longer. Some people are just doing a flow out, and you should actually be curing it about 60 to 70%, maybe 75% before you go ahead and let it cool and put the other color on. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the plugs. That way we don't get any rings around anything where the plugs were sitting, no powder rings. And we're gonna go ahead and let this flow out, like I said, do about a 60 to 70% cure, pull it out, let it cool down. We'll go from there. So we've got the chartreuse sherbet partially cured, about a 65% cure. We've pulled it out, it's completely cooled. We're gonna go ahead and throw the plugs back in it, lay down the second color, and get to vacuuming this two-tone. Okay, after some time, we've got the wheel all vacuumed and wiped off. Now it's going to go in the oven for the final cure. We're gonna go ahead and cure it out, pull it out. We'll let you see what it looks like. Let's get this